Welcome to day 4 of the 21 days money mindset adventure. My name is Coach Paz, your money mindset coach. Today, we are going to talk about the Feel and Grow Rich method. I've learned this method from this book, The Having, The Secret Art of Feeling and Growing Rich by Suh Yun Lee. The author recommends for the reader to start doing having notes. Now, what is a having note? Having notes is simply writing down every single time you buy anything, what you have and how you feel. It can be in a restaurant, it can be when you put gas in your car, when you pay your electricity bill, when you pay your rent, every single thing. And I want to give you an example from the book of how a having note looks like. The scenario was she was in a restaurant. She said, I have the money to buy lunch at a Thai restaurant for my friends from a former job. I feel abundance because I have enough money to buy a meal for other people. I am grateful to my former colleagues for seeking me out even 8 years after I left that job. That's it. This is all you need to do. Writing down what you have and how you feel. It's very simple. And another question that may arise at this point for you is, for how long do I need to do it to start seeing results? And the answer lies in chapter 7 of this book, and the title is it doesn't take that long. And Suh Yun Lee, the author, goes on and say, when she was asked this question, her answer was, when the money would come, she said, of course, you don't have to wait for years. Based on the data I've collected while leading people to gain more wealth, it's not a lengthy process. The effects of having usually begin to appear within 2 weeks at the earliest and 3 months at the latest. Now, this is very reassuring to know that it doesn't need to take that long. And I've perfected a method, 6-step method around this very specific method that she's already came up with, because I want to help you do it very efficiently and to make it very easy for you. So without further ado, let's dive in, because this lesson is going to be so much fun for you. I believe that you're very eager to start, and I'm very eager to teach this to you. But before we dive in a little bit deeper, I want to give you some background, some physics behind that will give you much more reassurance in the knowing that this method works. So let me read from the book a little bit more, and then we're going to dive in. Biologically, the adult brain requires 14 to 21 days to break its existing synaptic connection patterns and form new ones. By the way, this is also one of the reasons that this challenge is 21 days for you to break old behavioral patterns and thought patterns. She goes on and say, during that time, having serves the connection between existing emotions and begins to create a new neural network. As soon as this process is complete, we begin to see pleasant changes in the real world. This is very reassuring, and I'm gonna read a little bit more. She says, after I had returned from my meeting with Suh Yun, I researched neurons and synapses further. External stimuli are first transmuted to the neurons in our brain and then transferred to other neurons through synaptic connections. If we consider each neuron to be a road, then a synapse is like an intersection. For example, let's assume a man always feels anxious when spending money. When the data called money enters the brain, the nerve cells and synapses deliver the signal to anxiety, as if a string of Christmas lights was lighting up one by one down the wire. Neurons that fire together, wire together, as the saying goes. Early studies seems to show that the connection between nerve cells and synapses are set during a person's growth period, roughly until the age of 20. However, recent research suggests that these connections can change over your entire life if the links between existing synapses can change, that means we can change our emotions about experiences. Therefore, if we keep practicing having, we can choose to strengthen that connection between the experience of spending money and the joy of having. The guru said, having is the fastest and the most efficient way to change our brain's patterns and escape the trap of chronic anxiety. Having would help get rid of those nagging worries I had about money. Now that you have a better understanding on how it's scientifically proven that this method will work for you, it's time to put it into practice, right? There is two ways that you can do it. You can do it by pen and paper. This is the old way to do that, and that's perfectly fine. Or if you're a little bit more advanced and you would like to do it with your phone, I highly recommend for you to download an app called Google Keep. This is the app that I am using for my having notes, and I'm going to walk you through step by step on the app. And if you want to do it by pen and paper, that's totally fine as well. And let's just dive in. Take up your phone and download Google Keep app. It's on Android and it's on Apple as well. After you go into the app, this is how it looks like. It's completely blank. And you want to go into the three lines at the left side and go to labels, create a label. You can call it whatever you want. I usually call it prosperity. I love the word prosperity note, so I call it prosperity notes. All right, prosperity notes, and I'm gonna put just this emoji. I love using emojis as well. And this is the first step. After you have your prosperity notes, what you're gonna do is just click on the prosperity notes, and every time you buy something, this is how it's gonna go. The first step is to take a photo. It's gotta be the first step. Now I'm just gonna add a photo from my phone, just for example. And the picture that I chose is a picture of a gym shirt that I just bought for myself. So under the title, I am going to write down the amount. This is the second step. Remember to write down the amount. It cost me 100 USD. Sorry. USD. And I'm going to write down gym shirt. That's it. Up until this point, it's very simple. Now let's move over to the third step. The third step is in the description to start with an affirmation. You can choose whatever affirmation that works for you. I really love affirmations like the I am affirmations, of course. I am abundant, or I am prosperous. It can be whatever you want, by the way. It doesn't have to be what I'm saying. I'm abundant, I'm prosperous, I am wealthy. It can be whatever you want. You can choose one. You don't need to write down a lot. But for this example, I give you a few. And after you write down the affirmation, then move over to the fourth step. The fourth step is then you give gratitude to the divine power that gives you life. You can call it God, Jesus, Allah, whatever you want to call it, but you got to give gratitude to the power that gives you life. I call it God, so I'm going to write down, thank you, God, for all the money that I have in my account, which enables me to buy a beautiful shirt for my gym that makes me feel strong and beautiful. Okay, whatever it means for you. So this is how you do it. You give gratitude to the higher power. And then let's go move over to the next step. Step number 5, you give gratitude toward what is coming. And I love this. And I say, thank you, God, for all the money that it's on his way to me. And I emphasize, oh, just a second. I put, I'm not going to edit it out because I like to keep it raw as much as possible. It's making its way to me right now. And I say right now because it's right now. I want you to feel it right now. The money is coming right now. When you say it right now, it have a lot of intensity to it. You feel it in your heart. And remember, the feeling is the secret. You gotta feel it. So right now. Last but not least, step number 6 is to state how you feel. I feel. And sometimes you will feel anxious, and sometimes you will not be feeling all these jolly and beautiful emotions. Because you say, I feel so stressed because I don't know if I will ever get paid again. This is normal, but I don't want you to empower these thoughts and these emotions. So what I want you to do is simply write down what a positive emotion you want to feel. If you cannot feel it at the beginning and it's not natural for you, cultivate this feeling. You start cultivating by writing it down. And I feel, for example, with this shirt, I feel abundant. I feel financially secure. What else do I feel when I bought this shirt? I feel blessed. I feel blessed. And this is how it's going to go. And this is when you finish your first one, this is how it's going to look like. And imagine when you have multiple like this. There is a lot of reasons that you really want to do this, because when you start engaging in it and writing down everything you're grateful for and everything you bought in later times, when you want to review it or go back to it, when you feel down, you start seeing all the blessings that you received in your life. And it reinforces a feeling of having instead of feeling of lack. Because most people think about their past and what they didn't have, what the wrong or the bad things that happened to them. But this will give you a very beautiful memories, and it will reinforce more and more the feeling that you're blessed, because you will take a look at all the things you have and all the things you had instead of all the things you didn't have or didn't have. So this is how it goes. It's very simple and it's absolutely working. So just put it into use. That's just it. And commit that you're going to do this from now for 3 months. Whatever, even if you start seeing results in 2 weeks, in a week, keep on doing it, because you're cultivating gratitude. You're cultivating the skill, and gratitude is a skill. The more you do it, the better you get at it. And when you're cultivating the gratitude skill, I don't need to sell you on the benefits of that, right? Just do it for yourself and for your loved ones, because once they see that you start getting results and start expanding and changing your life, they will ask you, what are you doing? And then you're going to tell them about this program, all right? And you're going to tell them about everything that you're learning. So just make sure that you do the work. That's it. And today, day number 4, you have $2,500 to invest in yourself. Remember what to do with them. Invest them wisely. And remember that you're also expanding your vessel. You expand. Write it down. Feel as if. Fall in love with this. Fall in love with the process. And I always say to my clients, and I'm going to tell it to you too, fall in love with the process. The results will show up. Because once you love what you do, you will see results. And I heard a quote the other day which says, a person who loves running will run much further than any other person. And I really want you to think about it. When you really love what you're doing, you will reach and you will be much more. You will expand to your full capacity. With that said, you guys, thank you so much. Love and prosperity, and I will see you again tomorrow.